want to talk about something. Most people that's going to listen to this already know this, but I just feel like saying it. Do not bear other people's burdens. And here's why. We don't stay in a society. And the way I want to say, even if you have children, to not even bear their burdens. I get that you're raising children because they might grow up to not appreciate you. I know you got to raise them and stuff like that, but it's almost like they might grow up to not appreciate you because they're going to have their own life. And so I feel like you raise them the way they're supposed to be raised, and after that, that's it. Because people nowadays, and I'm just speaking in general, just from a lot of people's experiences, not just from my own. Just in general, people are just unappreciative. They are ungrateful. They are becoming more ruthless, more greedy, more narcissistic. That's the word used today. But narcissism has been around. It was used. It was another word used instead. You know, like say this for instance. Like say you a person bear some other people's burdens. And you constantly bearing other people's burdens that keep you heavy, and actually you constantly building up karma for yourself, taking in other people's stuff, taking in other people putting their garbage on you. That's why I can't do the people putting their garbage on me. I don't do, the way people preach forgiveness, I don't like the way they preach it. And you don't forgive like that. You don't forgive for somebody else. Whatever they do is, whatever you forgive is releasing all of that heavy weight off of you, but it's not to help them in any kind of way. So I don't like the way forgiveness is used to release somebody of some kind of burden. The way that is explained, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I forgive you in order to release them of the responsibility of what they have done. That is the way forgiveness to me has been used, and that's the reason why people cannot forgive. Why would you release somebody of accountability when you have to be accountable for yourself? Why would you then release somebody else of accountability, and then you don't know what entity is even operating in that person? People are holograms nowadays, and I'm just saying that's what it is. I'm not trying to like really say that in a negative way. I'm just saying what's going on. A lot of people are holograms. A lot of people are not real. A lot of people, what you think you're seeing is not real. Okay, you have like a lot of these entities that have already taken over a lot of these people, and they are not themselves. They left their body, if they're even real in the first place. Some of them just been counterfeits, always been counterfeits. So what do you, like, that don't make any sense. So that's why people cannot forgive when, that's what people don't forgive, because the way it's explained is that you're releasing somebody else of accountability. So if somebody else is a serial killer, a serial criminal of whatever kind, a serial rapist, a serial whatever, you mean to tell me that, forgive them, and the way it's explained is that to release them of accountability? That don't make no sense, and that's why people don't forgive, because that don't make sense. Okay, and it just don't make sense, and that's why forgiveness is about releasing. Forgiveness is all about you releasing stuff off of yourself so you can get more lighter. Like, you know, you won't be as dense. It's like you're literally releasing. When these people do things against you, do things to you, it leaves an impression in your, some people call it energy field. You know, it leaves something in your shadow. And so it leaves a lot of stuff there, and if those things are not taken care of, they build up in your shadow. Not just, I have personal experience from this. They actually become beings. They become entities. They become thought forms, and then when they stay there, the longer they stay there, they almost like demons. They're demons, they're thought forms, and they're living type of entities in you, taking over your body. So forgiveness is, like, in that sense, it's just releasing a lot of what somebody else has done against you. They have left, whatever has happened, they have left some kind of impression in something in your energy field. They've left something in your shadow, and it just stays there. So you gotta, it's like, it's not even about helping them at all, because I'm not releasing anybody of accountability. No, it's about releasing that type of stuff off of you. It's about releasing all of that weight off of you, all of those negative impressions and that karma off of you from those type of experiences. You know, you collect a lot of karma like that. And it's like releasing that stuff off of you. Okay, because it literally becomes, especially if something that happened 30 years ago, and then people like to say, well, don't think about it, just don't worry about it. No, it's still there though. So I hate when people do that. No, that needs to be released, and actually that's what forgiveness means. It's a releasing that. Like, no, you just, because it's still there. It's still there. And now that it's been ignored for 30 years, which a lot of people like to say ignore it, now it's grown up into a whole freaking being. It's literally grown into a whole freaking being, and to get rid of it, you got to do so much work. So much shadow work to get rid of it, because it's been there for so long. So anyway, but no, that's not what I was saying. I really was talking about not taking on other people's burdens. And I'm going to say why. And a lot of brown people do. I don't see any other group of people do this. A lot of brown women do this. A lot of brown women are like the sacrifice and stuff like that. Like they feel like they have to take somebody else's burdens. I don't think a lot of brown women are like that too much today. But like even just 10 years ago, a lot of brown women felt like they had to take on other people's burdens. I'm going to tell you why I refuse. I work on myself. I release the stuff, and then the stuff that's out. There's a lot of stuff that's in our shadow, that's in our energy. Is from somebody else dumping their burdens, right? Send it back to them. Why? Because if you call that person asking them for some kind of money, because the trash that they done dumped on you is causing you to have a hard time keeping a job, because they dumping all your trash on you, causing you to vibrate lower. Okay, causing you to be low in energy, causing you to be blocked, because people want to dump their trash on you. And the minute you ask them for anything, they're going to judge you. Okay? So this is not a society where people bear each other's burdens. It's not that kind of society. It's like each person for themselves. Now, the thing is that we're really not individuals. We are everything is one. That's why the world is the way it is. Because people think they're individuals when they're not. What they do actually is affecting the world. The choices people make is affecting the whole entire world. Because people think they're individual when they're not. You're not an individual. Okay? We have a single point of awareness, but not individuals. Okay? And that's why you get the world the way it is. You get a bunch of people acting one way and let it spread, it's like a domino effect. Because people are not separate, they're connected. Okay? That's why when it was time to do that, and I don't have anything to say too much about this, but when the vax thing, I was living in Palm Desert at the time, and it was some people that was trying to go around and convince people to get the shot, and he was talking about how, I think he said he only needed like 50 to 70% of people to agree to the vaccine, and that's all they need. So then why would they need a certain percentage, see? So because everybody's connected, that's why. Now, he might not understood why he needed to get 50 to 70% of the, because a lot of people are paid to go door to door and try to convince people to take these shots, right? And so they might not really understand the real reason why they are telling people to do that, because it takes maybe 50 to 70%. Once you get that a percentage in a certain city or community, that's most of the consciousness that's controlled right there. And the rest that decided not to take it, oh well, they're like the minority. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, that's all I want to say is like, I cannot take other people's burdens. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. Because the minute you ask somebody for something, the minute you need something, then people are ugly, they're ruthless, okay? They're evil, okay? And then on top of that, if you might need something, you can't get what you need. You might need whatever, a ride. You might need whatever it is that you need, a place to stay. I don't know, maybe having trouble with your rent, maybe having trouble with a mortgage, something like that. And people act like they, sometimes people might act like they can't help you. So in that case, you just deal with yourself. even though we're not really individuals, but at the same time, if nobody's willing to really help you, you should not be bearing nobody else's burdens. Is when it comes time for you to need something, they ain't giving it to you. Then you should not be bearing other people's burdens for them. Just really, no. You know? I'm sorry, you got to be selfish. Whatever, talking about, I get the love, but for me, love is something different. It ain't got nothing to do with an emotional feeling towards another person. It's love frequency is just about a level of knowledge that you have about what this really is. You know, I think that's what it is. It's like a level of information. Instead of seeing yourself as an individual, really thinking that you're an individual physical person, you know that you're a part of a whole. But you're not separate, you're a part of a whole. And once you really cognize that and get to understand that, that's closer to more of a love type of frequency. Okay? Because then once you realize you're a part of a whole, and when people really get that, then they would know not to treat each other any kind of way, because you're part of a certain type of, you're part of a whole. So anyway, yeah, that's it. But right now, even though I know I'm part of a whole, you can't be bearing nobody else's burden. It's just like you got to have your own bubble. Sorry, you just got to have your own bubble. Because, when you need something, people are not willing to really help you. You might have one or two people. I'm not saying that nobody's ever available. But for the most part, a lot of people just in general have a hard time getting help when they need it. And so I was like, that's why I say it's just have your own bubble and stuff. Don't be taking on nobody else's crap for them. Don't take on nobody else's crap if there come time that you need something. And that's what I mean. I literally mean a bubble so other people's shit don't get on you. A lot of people understand what that means. A lot of people understand what that means. So literally create your own bubble so other people's shit don't get into your world. Deal with your own stuff. It's enough to deal with your own stuff. I don't want nobody else's stuff coming into my world, right? Because the minute I need something, I can't go and ask them for a doggone dime, right? I can't ask them for nothing. I can't ask them for a ride. I can't ask them, and I don't like to ask people for rides, no way. I don't jump in people's cars anyway, but I'm just saying, I'm just using stuff as an example. You just can't ask them for nothing. So I'm not that kind of loving person, if that's what you want to call it, that let somebody else's burdens come into your inner world. And then nobody's available to help you when you need something. They judging you. Well, why you this? Why you that? Why you got this? And judging you when you taking on somebody else's burdens that's not yours. And then once you have a problem, you're being judged. No, absolutely not. You got to be selfish. I see yourself as part of the whole, but you still got to be selfish. Because you take care of this, you taking care of yourself. And that's just, until that type of world comes to an end, okay, until that kind of world comes to an end where people stop seeing themselves as individuals and stop being selfish, then I don't have to be that. If people bear my burdens, I can help bear theirs. But if I can't take mine and take everybody else's, and then next thing I need something, people looking down at me, why can't you get your act together? Because you carrying everybody's shit. That's why you can't get your life together. You can't get your life, because it's no levels of light. How can I say it? Like, say, when it comes to finances, when it comes to love, when it comes to, it's like it's a certain amount of light in those particular areas that's missing. And allowing people to dump, it's like it's kind of hard to really get yourself where you want to be, because they are taking they're taking a lot of light from you. They're taking a lot of light from you. Okay? So anyway, no. Case in point, a lot of us know that with family, don't we? We got family members since we were little that they took our energy, they did all kinds of stuff, and then until you turn around and have a problem as an adult, they looking down at you like, what's wrong with you? But they done dumped all their shit on you, and you had to do a lot of work on yourself to get it off of you, to remove the curses and all that stuff. To remove all of the curses. And so, No, they don't get it. So no, I ain't taking on. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't taking on nothing from nobody else. You really got to see where that person reciprocates. I don't deal with nobody who cannot reciprocate. I just cannot do it. I cannot do it. And you know what? A lot of people, it's not even about self-love. A lot of people are afraid of how somebody else might feel if you tell them no. You just got to tell them no. If they cannot reciprocate, they got to get away. If somebody's always negative, always finding something negative to say, they got to go. You don't want that around you. It's enough being in this type of stuff as it is. You don't want that kind of crap around you. But definitely if somebody cannot reciprocate, if they cannot be the friend to you that you are to them, or a mate or whatever, but when it comes to mate and marriages, I mean, that's something different, especially with a marriage or something. That's something that's, but no, it's friendships, sorry. It's not going to work. You can't be the friend to me that I am to you. Basically, if I'm a good friend to you, I'm taking on your burdens, but you're not a good friend to me. So you're not taking my burdens. I'm taking on all of your burdens. And then when it comes time I need something, you're not even a friend. I got to go to somebody else and ask them and see if they do something for me. Take on my burdens after I done took them off of you. No, that cannot work. Okay, that cannot work. But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.